and welcome to Something Witchy, a Sabrina the Teenage Witch rewatch podcast. I'm Laura Cotter.
And I'm Skye Orchard.
And we have survived our summer breaks, vacations. You did not get eaten alive by midges.
I still have the midge bites on me, however. I think some might scar, not gonna lie. I think the ones on my legs might just be permanent souvenirs of the midgies.
Get some retinol.
There was a solid week where it looked like I had acne on my face. It was not acne, it was midge bites.
Oh.
A really pathetic picture I'll send to you, and you can share it should you want to on socials, but I was very irate. They tried to go into my ears one day, and I about lost it. Yeah.
Was there any point where you're just like, forget it, I'm not being outdoors anymore, we're going inside?
No.
All right. So the outdoors outweighed the midge.
Yes. I got over my little mentee bee that I had.
Okay.
I put my buff on over my ears and looked ridiculous. And then I just walked through it.
Do you remember what day you had your breakdown? Because I'm wondering if it's the same day I had my breakdown.
Oh,
because that'd be fun.
The very first super rainy day of the Skye Trail, which was it was either Tuesday the 4th or Wednesday the 5th.
Mine was a bit later, but not that much later. Mine was like the 7th through the 10th.
Okay.
On and off. So it was close. We almost synced up.
So I just passed my midge break mentee bee over to you for a non-midge mentee bee.
Mine was because Mabel had a bladder stone.
Oh, yeah.
And she had to have surgery. And it brought up a lot of past trauma from a childhood cat that I didn't know I had and that I didn't know I hadn't resolved until this triggered it all. And it was like 4 to 5 days of like working through this and crying into vet offices and crying to my dad and crying to my mom and crying while I'm journaling, trying to like exorcise the demon out of me.
Oh, no.
We're okay. I've been able to talk about it without fully crying recently. So like we're getting there. But yeah, she's fine. Mabel's fine. She's happy. She's back to normal. I bought her a little cat bed so she can sit next to me while I'm at my desk. And she has used it all of one time. And that's because I put a paper clip in there as a bribe for her to go play with.
I liked the picture you sent of her just looking down on it, being like,
just staring at it.
You expect me to lower myself a foot?
Girl, this was $45 from Chewy, and it was I'm sorry you had surgery gift, so you better use it. All right, so we're back to Sabrina. Do you remember what happened in episode 1? Do we need a recap of episode 1 real quick?
I do, because I didn't edit it until I got back, so I've edited it within the past 7-ish days. And honestly, what's the phrase they say? Absence makes the heart grow fonder?
Yes.
We're funny when I'm not editing it immediately after. Like, I was cracking up laughing at us because it had like been a month and I'd forgotten our combos. Meanwhile, I'm almost editing instantly afterwards and it's like nothing, no humor in my life because I've had this conversation like literally the previous day, blah, 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 robotic. But, a month away from it, I was like, oh, are we sometimes sort of funny?
I think we are.
We might be.
I think we are.
Crazy.
Well, we have some exciting stuff planned for the season. I'm not going to get into all of it because we haven't planned all of it out yet, but there will be some other guest people appearing. I didn't do all/any of the things I told Skye I was going to do while they were gone, but I did some of them like the day they got back, so that counts. Unfortunately, I've had to go into the office for work a lot more recently, and that's kind of thrown me off my game. And then Mabel was very sick for a moment in time, and that also threw me into the depths of despair. So I have excuses. I also almost melted in 113-degree weather in Vegas.
Oh, gosh.
At the end of July, beginning of August. Yeah, it was horrific. To the point where I was like, I don't know if our plane is going to take off to get out of here. We might be stuck here. We did. We got it. It was an early enough flight that it wasn't hot enough yet, but there were definitely some other flights that got canceled. So
I think this upcoming season will be fun. I think it's safe to say it's also going to be a busy season just in our personal lives as well. So we're going to get through season 4. It might take a little bit more though. Not going to lie.
I think my life might be okay for a minute.
Happy for you.
One of my big projects at work just wrapped up and we're kind of in the middle of another one, but it's kind of a moment where I don't have a ton of stuff to do with it because I did my work and now it's somebody else's problem and then it'll be my problem again in a couple of months. So I have kind of a moment, except for it's budget season, but I'm not super involved with that. But
I need to survive through February somehow.
We're not even festival yet, though.
Oh, we're festival
starting? Oh my gosh.
We're building a new city.
It's not just ready to go, Skye. They didn't plan this out 40 years ago.
I gotta build a fiber structure in a brand new city.
I feel like the city should have built the fiber structure for you if they wanted you to move there so badly.
I mean, it's not how it works, Laura. The fiber may be there. The connections we own do not.
There's something else. Oh, I think we can say this.
I don't think we can say the date, but we can say.
No, but we can say we've got accepted, right?
Yep.
Okay, so Skye and I got accepted to FanX, which you cannot call Salt Lake City Comic Con because got sued, but it is Salt Lake's version of Comic Con. It is FanX. We'll be doing a live episode where we are going to be discussing Melissa Joan Hart's movie, Drive Me Crazy. And we will try to see if we can record it. I'm sure we can record it. You just got to figure out the techie part of doing so. I'm sure legally we can. And then we will publish it at a later date. I think I already have it blocked out on our calendar for when we need a break. It'll be published later this year.
That being said, if you really want to see us live in person, Salt Lake City, the weekend of September 24th, be there, be square. Yes. Maybe we can give out like stickers or something.
Oh yeah, we'll bring something. That'll be my deadline to have the Mr. Kraft needs milk stickers. Is FanX. Oh, speaking of things we can't say. Did you see the other email we got in our inbox, Skye? We got an email from Google.
Oh, yeah. I did actually see that one. Sorry, Google, I guess.
The episode where I was talking about my internet going out, and I mistakenly referred to it as Google Fiber, which is no longer its name. It is G Fiber. And I got a very, very nice email from somebody who works for G Fiber saying, hey, love the podcast. Thanks for the shout out. Please refer to us as G Fiber. So my greatest apologies to G Fiber. They actually made me a very nice deal. Like, not because of the podcast. This happened before that, but I got basically a 25% rebate on my monthly internet bill for having internet out for one day, which I think is a pretty sweet deal. Thank you, G Fiber. I do genuinely enjoy your internet. I apologize for using the wrong name. I am flattered and a little bit scared. Google knows who we are. Suck it. All right, let's get into like actual other Sabrina stuff. The episode, this thing that we do. Oh, wait, no, but we need more discussion first because I need to ask you a question.
But wait, there's more.
This was the question I came up with about 4 minutes ago because I remembered I needed to do this. Tell me about your favorite clock, Skye.
I have always wanted a nifty pocket watch. And I've yet to find or acquire a nifty pocket watch. But I just imagine myself one day having a fun little vest, pulling out a pocket watch, being like, I got that time.
Hold on 1 second. I gotta stand up.
Are you pulling out a pocket watch? A pocket watch. Ooh,
And it's the kind that has to be wound every single day. So naturally, I have not wound it in like 5 years. It's from my grandfather, and it sits on my desk, and I don't wind it, so I just look at it.
Pretty.
I can see you with a pocket watch, though.
Thank you.
Ooh, I can see you with like as an everyday. Like, a pocket watch is not an everyday, but I could see you, and I think you should get the ones that look like a 1960s watch, but they just have the one band and then they clip on. They were like the transition from a pocket watch to a wristwatch. And I think like even some like nurses and doctors still use them. I can see you with one of those, and I think you should get one for festival.
Love it.
My favorite clock, and I've seriously thought about getting one, are those like 60s cat clocks.
I can see you with that.
That the eyes go back and forth. I found one that was pink.
I was about to say you should have a pink one.
And I was so close to getting one, but it was like a little bit too expensive. And I was like, I can't.
Would Mabel freak out?
I don't think so. I have other clocks that tick and she doesn't care about it. Let's talk about Sabrina now for reals. This is Season 4, Episode 2, Dream a Little Dreama Me. TV Guide description. Sabrina learns that she has been instructed to mentor a witch student, and it turns out that her student is the new girl at school, Dreama. However, Dreama's clumsy spells arouse Harvey's friend Brad's suspicions, revealing his true nature. Talk about clumsy. That was a clumsy sentence.
Yes.
The streaming one is much shorter. Her witch's license and a new student brings Sabrina a new set of challenges, which I feel like is an oversimplification.
Yeah, we need to find the middle ground.
It originally aired October 1st, 1999. Linda Day returns as our director. Sheldon Bull returns as our writer. I'm not going to give Brad a credit every time he shows up, nor Dreama, because they're going to be in a few from here on out, just like I don't mention Miss Quick every time she shows up. But Brad is in this one. Then we have China Shavers as Dreama. Sabrina from Not Another Teen Movie, The Glass House, Grey's Anatomy, ER, and Boston Public. Nicole Neath as Gretchen from ER, Spanglish, According to Jim, and Dawson's Creek. Paul Blake is Billy, and he has no other credits. Jordan Belfi is John from Entourage, All American, Grey's Anatomy, and Melissa and Joey. Joe Ochman as the shop owner from CSI Crime Scene Investigation. And then voice actor for the video game Life is Strange, Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir. And then he's Jiminy Cricket in Kingdom Hearts 3. Wayne Trask as unnamed student from the Clueless TV show and Mad About You. Ross Gottstein as the teacher from Babylon 5. Frasier and the Drew Carey Show. Russell Young as the sixth student. I don't know who the sixth student is, but number 6 is him. He's from Saved by the Bell, the new class, The Lionhearts and Boys. And lastly, we have Julie McKinnon as an uncredited patron from Dexter, Californication, Chuck, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. What are your thoughts on this one, Skye, including your thoughts on Dreama?
I will say earlier this week when I was editing 4.1 audio, it came to me, and I should have put it in our Discord so I had proof of this, but you're just going to have to take me at my word. I was like, what if Brad was a witch hunter?
Oh.
So I solved it. Solved it ahead of time.
You did. You solved one of the mysteries in this show.
I sure did.
And you did it off camera.
Off camera. Did not write it down, but it was there. I did think through it. So that was satisfactory there. I feel like this episode is sort of take it or leave it. I don't really care for it. We've certainly had worse episodes in the Sabrina universe there. I guess it's a good one to introduce Dreama and sort of this like clumsiness there, but it didn't necessarily capture my attention or like really enrapture me, but I didn't despise it. It was an episode, I guess, is my review of it.
All right. What are your thoughts on Hilda's sudden change of career path?
It was weird. Is it going to stick?
Well, it's going to stick for a bit, and then it's going to get weirder.
Being clocks, or is it she's just a merchant now?
It's going to be clocks for a minute, and then it's going to be something else.
Okay.
That's going to make just as much sense as clocks.
It's a choice, and I'm assuming it's part of the change, or we just like to change things up here now that it's season 4. Is Zelda going to be as... like, yes, it's Hilda's thing, but is it Zelda drug into it, so it's really their thing now? Both Hilda and Zelda's thing, per se.
Like, she's going to help solve problems, but I don't think it's going to be, like, Zelda stops being science person to do this.
Oh, it would be fun if Salem became, like, a little shopkeep, because we had a sad amount of Salem in this episode, like... barely any Salem, and that wasn't nice after returning after a month to have no Salem. Yeah.
You will get a cute Salem moment out of this clock shop.
Okay.
I feel like I knew Dreama was coming, but I had forgotten exactly what she was like. Like, I knew, but I didn't really remember, and I feel like I owe an apology to the people who wrote Valerie in seasons 2 and 3, because I complained about Valerie being 1 note, and I feel like Dreama she's like 0.5 note.
Yeah.
Like, her whole shtick is clumsy, absent-minded. I just do magic, and I'm bad at it, and I don't watch where I'm going.
And it's crazy that she was sent from the other realm.
They knew what she was like.
There has to be other resources within the actual magical realm that isn't, like, putting, like, her and humanity in danger as far as, like, the secret of witchcraft.
And they're like, your survival depends on you keeping your magic a secret, and we already know what this girl is like. That was such a bad decision.
Oh, and Sabrina, you went through all this stuff with the Quizmaster and then the stupid family secret, and now all of that can be taken away because of this other person in your life.
And, like, I get it. There needed to be some stakes to it. I do get it, but it was so shoehorned in. So, like, yes, apologies to Valerie. I recognize now it's harsh, and you did have slightly more facets. Like, not initially, but you grew some. And then again, I knew about the clock shop. I forgot how out of left field it was. Like, there's been nothing whatsoever in anything we've ever heard from Hilda that would lead us to believe she would want to own a clock shop. So it was they're trying to shake things up. They're trying to be different. I get it. It's not working well.
Oh, I've got it. I've got the connection.
Okay.
It's because Hilda's a little cuckoo.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Which I think they actually make that joke in the episode, so.
But good job, Skye. Our cold open. Sabrina walks downstairs as a clock chimes 13 o'clock. She's late. She runs into the kitchen where she tries to talk to Zelda, who is in a protective bubble. Sabrina eventually breaks through, and Zelda admits it's because Hilda's clock is driving her insane. The clock continues to cuckoo incessantly. Hilda walks in with dynamite, and Zelda tells her to blow it up, baby, feeling victorious. Instead, Hilda puts dynamite on her violin. We get an age check that Hilda says she is 620 years old. However, and I did make note of this in the Discord, in season 3, episode 6, Hilda states they are 500 years old.
That was a really quick 120 years.
But in the pilot, they said 600 as well. So we've been back and forth between the 600, 500 number multiple times. Hilda wants a new direction. Zelda wants her to fix the clock. Hilda says Zelda is the only one that it bothers, but suddenly there's a dying clock noise. Salem has murdered it. And that's the last time we see Salem until the end of the episode. I think they filmed the first scene and the last scene at the same time because Sabrina's hair looked weird in the last scene. Sabrina comes into the kitchen carrying a large poster board about Westbridge through the years, but it's blank. Zelda initially assumes it's for another protest.
Sabrina says, good grief, you stage one little rally against mildew in the locker room and suddenly you're Che Guevara.
Mildew in the locker room is a low issue.
Right?
I would love to have that would be our rallying point because that's the worst thing. And, not glass in half the food that's on our shelves right now.
Oh my gosh. I came back and it was still salad. And then I found out about eggs. And you know what?
And bread. And now meat. And now we might have horse meat.
I'm just going to eat the salad and the eggs. I don't care anymore. Health be damned.
Have them duke it out inside of you. You're going to give the parasite salmonella and kill off the parasite pathway.
I'm over it.
I'm just eating banana bread peanut M&Ms.
Oh.
Are you telling us who Che Guevara is? Or
I was going to, and then you tangented
Sorry.
pretty hard there.
We've established we need to for the youngins that listen to us.
It's true. I'm going to just give the very brief Wikipedia first paragraph of Che because there's a lot, and I recommend people go out and research for themselves.
All right.
Che was an Argentine Marxist revolutionary, author, guerrilla leader, diplomat, politician, and military theorist. A major figure of the Cuban Revolution, his stylized visage has become a countercultural symbol of rebellion and global insignia in popular culture.
I was going to add the tangent. Do you remember the 30 Rock episode where Liz finds the jeans that fit her perfectly and she's excited because they're from an ethical company, and then she finds out the company's owned by Halliburton, and then she's like, but you have a Che Guevara shirt, and they're like, oh yeah, you didn't know his full name was Che Guevara Halliburton? That's what I think of when I hear Che Guevara. That episode. Anyway, Che Guevara. Sabrina's auditioning to be part of the yearbook. Zelda cautions her against taking on too many things her senior year. And we have had this lesson exactly. But we didn't really get the lesson, so then I wasn't so mad about it. But I was really mad about it at this point in the episode. But Sabrina has a new attitude. Zelda is glad to hear that. She's been chosen to mentor a witch student this year. My question being, why didn't Sabrina get a mentor?
The writers didn't think about it at the time.
Sabrina is excited about this.
Sabrina asks, I have to be somebody's quizmaster? Zelda says, no, mentor. Sabrina, what's the difference? Zelda, quizmasters get paid. To which Sabrina says, right. I can help mold and shape someone's young mind and make them get me coffee. I like it.
Like a magic intern. Hilda quickly rushes out off to the clock shop, but notices the poster board and asks Sabrina what she's protesting. Mr. Kraft sees Sabrina with the poster board at school and warns her that she better not be doing another protest.
He says, if we were in China, I could run you over with a tank.
And my question was, do we think they censor this joke in China?
Do they show Sabrina in China?
I'm going to check. I'm going to check right now to see if we have listeners from China. I don't even know if Podbean would tell me if we had listeners in China. I don't know if it tracks there.
I think they would censor.
It tells me there's no downloads from China, but there are 4 in India. So, Indian listeners, if you could just pop on over to China. I know it's real close. Maybe people in China, though, have a VPN and listen to us, so it shows from a different country. So if anybody from China listens to this, let us know, and then we'll know that you've seen Sabrina. Sabrina explains it's her audition page for yearbook editor, and she asks Mr. Kraft for support. He laughs because he's the head of the faculty committee that picks the yearbook editor. Sabrina is stunned, and Mr. Kraft walks away smiling. Sabrina runs into Harvey and asks if he wrote the letter of recommendation for her, but they're interrupted by Brad talking about football. Sabrina tries to get Harvey's attention again, and he admits he didn't write it last night because he and Brad are starting a new fantasy football league, but he'll get right on it.
Sabrina says thanks with that and Mr. Kraft's sudden death due to smallpox. I might make editor.
I wasn't thrilled with Harvey in this episode.
Oh, he was a terrible boyfriend.
For her just having moved to France and then come back and him being so clingy and so like, I'm so glad you're back, I'm so grateful, like never leave me again. He's being terrible. Sabrina notices a clueless girl stumbling through the hallway and running into other people, causing someone to trip and fling coffee on Sabrina's poster board. Sabrina picks up her poster board, devastated, as the clueless girl introduces herself as Dreama. Hilda chats with the clock shop owner about trying to find a new direction for her life.
You know, I love the violin, but you can only play so much Mozart till you start to be glad he died young.
You know what? I get it. That man was very prolific for his short life, and who knows how much more we would have gotten. He asks if she wants to buy the clock shop. She'll do it. He gives her the keys, his hat, and a clock, and leaves. Sabrina asks Harvey again for the letter after lunch, but he still hasn't written it. She begs him to write it before tomorrow. Sabrina leaves, and Dreama runs into him. Dreama stumbles her way into Sabrina's class, which is a math class, but not being taught by Miss Quick.
Which is weird because when she throws Dreama in an empty classroom later, she's like, oh, Miss Quick won't mind.
And that class, while there were some math equations on the board, it looked more like a typing class.
Yeah.
Dreama slams into Sabrina's desk, causing papers to fall, then knocks them all out of Sabrina's hands after she picks them up. Hilda tells Zelda that she bought the clock shop. Zelda is not impressed. It's a bad location and is constantly turning over.
In the last 2 years, that same spot has been a karate school, a nail salon, a yogurt shop, another nail salon, a Chinese restaurant, and a combination Chinese restaurant and nail salon.
You know, I wouldn't say no to some dumplings while I got a pedicure. Not the worst idea. Hilda is unfazed. Hilda is sure her shop is going to be successful. Zelda points out that Hilda doesn't know anything about clocks, but Hilda says she does. Hilda then fails to read the time on her watch, having put it on upside down. Dreama walks down the hall and slams into Sabrina's locker, ripping Sabrina's shirt. Sabrina magically repairs her sleeve as Brad walks by. He immediately senses something happened, but Sabrina dismisses it. Brad stares after Sabrina, and Mr. Kraft sees him, telling him not to get involved with Sabrina. Brad agrees that there's something weird about her. Mr. Kraft immediately takes a shine to Brad and tells him to try out to be the yearbook editor. Sabrina overhears this and gets angry. You know, this is an angle that I didn't think about and maybe would have been interesting, as if they had played it off that Brad was still like very, very watching her, observant of her, but made it more like he might be interested in her, and then had the reveal that like, no, he's actually hunting her. Like that maybe would have been a little bit more interesting than having be antagonistic right off the bat. Sabrina works on cleaning up her poster board at home, which I don't know why she just doesn't get a new poster board. She's just leaving the coffee stains on this one. It has barely anything on it. She can just get a new one. She could zap in a new one. I think she could zap the coffee stains off of it, actually. But whatever. She tells Salem her plans for the page, which hinges on Harvey remembering to bring over his parents' old yearbooks. Salem points out that Harvey couldn't remember to write her a letter. The doorbell rings, and Sabrina wonders if it's her witch student. Salem laughs hysterically until Sabrina gives him a look. Zelda calls up that the witch student is here. Sabrina finds Dreama in the front room. Dreama immediately smashes a vase. Sabrina begs Zelda to go back to working on the family secret. And Skye screamed, no.
I did almost.
Dreama pulls on her ear to give Sabrina a present. A bag of flour. It was supposed to be flowers. Zelda tells Sabrina that Dreama's parents moved here from the other realm just so Sabrina could help Dreama with her magic.
No, just no. Terrible plan.
It's like sending Amanda to the mortal
to help children learn how to be good.
Dreama pulls her ear again, and now there's 2 bags of flour. Sabrina asks to speak to Zelda in private. Sabrina can't teach her. Zelda says she was chosen by a scientific hat. Magic sounds, and Sabrina turns around to find Dreama with loaves of bread in her arms. Sabrina begs Zelda some more. Zelda tells Sabrina that she has to help Dreama improve, or else she will lose her witch's license and be deported.
Sabrina says, "It's something new and horrible every day, isn't it?" The Sabrina Spellman story.
Our story of the US's FDA. Do we think she gets deported to Other Realm Canada, or do we think she gets deported to the land where no women can have magic?
Now, that was a great question because I instantly thought Canada as well, if Hilda and Zelda are Canadian, quote
Or
unquote.
an unknown third place.
Ooh. Well, is Edward Canadian?
I mean, I would think he'd have to be.
Or would the writers just sort of forget that storyline and then it would be third
They've
place?
So forgotten that storyline. They've 100% forgotten that storyline. She gets deported somewhere. She has to go live with Amanda.
Is that Amanda in the mortal realm now?
We're going to see Amanda in a while, and that's going to be a question.
Did we forget we tried to do a pilot episode?
I think so.
Okay. Thanks, writers.
Yeah. Sabrina and Dreama walk down the hallway at school as Sabrina gives her a rundown of how this is going to go. Mainly that Sabrina doesn't want to lose her license and Dreama can't use magic in front of mortals. Dreama immediately pulls on her ear and causes a locker to explode. Sabrina yells at her. What was she trying to do? What was the original intent of that magic?
Nothing. They're just writing things in to cause chaos.
Who knows? Magic for magic's sake. Harvey walks in and Sabrina asks him about the yearbooks and letter, but he forgot. He was hanging out with Brad and talking about football. Sabrina is disappointed in him, but Harvey promises to get the books at lunch. Sabrina takes solace in the fact that Brad must have also been busy last night and couldn't have worked on his proposal. Of course, Mr. Kraft walks down the hall with a large poster board congratulating Brad on his proposal, but Brad clearly didn't actually make it. Brad takes the credit, and Sabrina stares in shock. Hilda calls Zelda from the clock shop to ask if she's ever going to come visit the store. Zelda knows that Hilda just needs rescuing. Hilda peers out into her shop where it's full of angry customers. Dreama and Sabrina again walk down the hallway when Dreama calls Sabrina a witch and everyone gasps. Sabrina quickly takes Dreama aside and tells her to never let a mortal know she's a witch. Meanwhile, Harvey and Brad are admiring Brad's proposal. Sabrina wishes Brad would move back to Texas. Dreama smiles and pulls her ear. When Dreama and Sabrina walk through the classroom door, they're in Texas. And maybe like Old West Texas?
Yeah, the most stereotyped Old West Texas you can imagine.
There was like some saloon and some horses.
There were some bonnets.
It's not modern day Texas. Sabrina zaps them back right behind Brad, who looks at them suspiciously.
Brad says, "Where did you come from?" Sabrina says, "I really think you need to have that conversation with your parents."
Sabrina pulls Dreama into a classroom and yells at her again. The bell rings and Sabrina hurries off to class, leaving Dreama and her poster board in an empty classroom. Doesn't Dreama also have class? Because I swear Sabrina says I need to go to math. They're in the same math class.
It'd be hilarious if Dreama's like not actually registered and like no one's picked up that this teenager's just like running around.
Wandering around. I love that for her. Dreama eyes the poster board. She casts the spell to fill in the poster board with pictures of previous students, but she accidentally summons real past students.
The spell is to finish her poster of Westbridge High, bring me the students of years gone by.
Again, when do you need spell? When do you need words? When do you just need point or pull the ear? This does not make sense.
Yeah. When do you need rhyme and when do you not need rhyme? No rules.
No rules. Zelda ushers the last customer out of the store. Hilda tries to get Zelda to stay and help run the shop, but Zelda refuses. They go into the back room and find an old grandfather clock.
Hilda says, "Oh, what a great grandfather clock. Well, actually, it's a grandfather clock, but it appears to be a great one."
Ha ha, ha ha, ha.
Got a chuckle out of me.
Hilda opens it up and an old-timey football player runs out. And at this point, I was like, I feel bad about calling these like old-timey and old-fashioned because I'm like, the distance from the 90s to this era of like the 50s is the same.
No, don't say this. Don't finish this.
As the distance between today and Sabrina. Not quite. We got about a decade less, but still.
I'm just going to go walk into the ocean.
I hear enough of the Gen Alphas be like, that old school, old-timey, old-fashioned thing. And I'm like, girl, we had the internet. Nothing when the internet existed is old-timey.
I had an employee be like, "Oh, I want to grab a poster from the year I was born." It was only like 1999, but it still made me feel old.
My piano kids are back in school now, and last week they learned about V911. Is what I
Oh
got told.
gosh.
V911, and I was like, oh boy, what did you learn about in your sixth grade class? Because I was literally 2 years older than you watching it live. I saw that second tower come down. Why did they let us watch that?
It was a wild time to be a fifth grader.
It is 7:30 in the morning, children. We're going to watch thousands of people die on live television. Enjoy. My goodness. This explains what's wrong with millennials. Sabrina is in class when Dreama hovers in the doorway to get her attention. Sabrina shoos her away until she sees the kids in old-fashioned clothes. Sabrina cringes and comes up with an excuse to get out of class. The football player confronts the ants, asking who they are. Zelda points out this is a magical lost-in-time clock. People who come through the clock are lost in time, and the person who opens the clock has to help them or be turned into time travelers themselves. The ants approach the football player cautiously. There's a lot of weird high stakes that no one signed up for in this episode.
High stakes, I'm still very back and forth and like barely like focusing on the high stakes, if that makes sense.
Like, what is the time frame in which Sabrina has to make Dreama a better witch?
We'll find out when it's the deadline's due, and it'll be like, oh, snap.
How does one quantify better? Like, she's really good at casting magic, just not intentionally. She does some big spells.
Has to be abstinent from pulling her ear for like a week.
Sabrina takes Dreama and the two students into the cafeteria. Dreama doesn't know how to reverse the spell, but apparently she knows how to seal her spells. Zelda has read about lost in time people. They made a big mistake in their life somewhere and have to go back to correct it. Billy tells them he was playing in the big game when he got distracted by his untied shoe. Hilda zaps his shoe tied and sends Billy back through the clock, but Billy immediately gets tossed back out. Sabrina, Dreama, and the students try to run out of school to get the ants. And don't they still have classes? Because Sabrina was in the middle of a test. Mr. Kraft catches them and gives them detention, including the two strangers.
He says, halt! That's detention for everyone, including George and Mary Bailey here, which is a reference to the central romantic couple in the 1946 movie It's a Wonderful Life.
Which is one of the Christmassy time movies I generally watch every year, because my dad really likes it. Sabrina claims they're part of her yearbook proposal. He doesn't like it, and she says they'll have to return the costumes to the costume shop, running out the door. Brad, who also apparently does not have class, follows suspiciously. Hilda applies glue to Billy's hands so he won't drop the pass. Billy again gets thrown back out of the clock. The door rings, and they see Sabrina, Dreama, and the two kids come in. Sabrina rushes into the back room and finds the ants with Billy from the clock. Dreama and the two past kids wait in the front, but Brad shows up. And then it takes a very long time for Dreama to tell anybody about Brad. Sabrina paces as she explains what happens. Oh wait, then Dreama comes into the back room. But there's a moment of Sabrina pacing and explaining things. Dreama comes into the back room with the two other kids. Billy immediately recognizes the girl, Gretchen. They happily greet each other. They say they were in love, but Billy played in the big game instead of taking her out for her birthday, so she went out with John instead. Sabrina points out they could have gone out after the game. Zelda realizes that's why Billy is lost in time. Sabrina sends Dreama out to delay Brad. John, Billy, and Gretchen all go back through the clock. One problem solved. Now Sabrina just needs to come up with an excuse for Brad. Zelda and Hilda both note that they feel strange. Hilda summons dowsing rods, and hers were bedazzled, and I feel like that's what I need to do with my dowsing rods.
Are you going to make yours glittery?
I think I need to bedazzle mine. I think that'll make them work better. I'll be able to summon so many spirits.
Find those witch hunters.
Brad is a witch hunter. He has a gene that makes him want to ferret out witches, even though he doesn't know it. If a witch reveals herself to a witch hunter, she gets turned into a mouse for 100 years. Sabrina realizes she sent Dreama out there, the least careful witch. They rush out to the front room, and it's empty.
I think it would be funnier if they turned into a ferret for 100 years, because they were ferreted out.
Yeah.
Move over, writers. I'm going to rewrite this.
Oh, we could have started long before now.
Oh, yes.
Sabrina searches the school hallways and finds Brad holding a mouse. Sabrina grabs the mouse from him before Dreama comes up behind her. The mouse is his science project. Mr. Kraft gives her detention again. Harvey gives her the yearbook and the letter. Dreama helped him write it. Sabrina is delighted and kisses him. Sabrina admits Dreama is a good friend, but then Dreama walks away, noting how thirsty she is. She pulls her ear, and they're at Niagara Falls. In our end tag, Sabrina tells her aunts that Brad made yearbook editor. Sabrina is okay with it, since she will have plenty to do mentoring Dreama. Sabrina notices the cuckoo clock and asks if Hilda fixed it. I hated the camera angles.
Yeah, especially the staircase camera angles.
The weird looking down on the top of Sabrina's head, which made her hair look weird and different. Like, I get why they did it. Hated it. Did not enjoy. I usually like a new camera angle, not this time. So Sabrina notices the cuckoo clock and asks if Hilda fixed it. Zelda admits they had to improvise a little. The clock chimes, revealing Salem inside, who sadly says, cuckoo. And that is the end of our episode. Any last thoughts, Skye?
Yeah, fixing the Billy, Gretchen, John thing in the present day sure fixes a problem, but butterfly effect, just waiting 10 episodes down the line, I'll be like, but wait, remember when we did this?
Oh, you're assuming they remember this in 10 episodes.
These students don't exist anymore because of XYZ.
It's like a reverse Back to the Future where some kid just like watches their family photo disappear.
Yep, exactly. If the writers were to remember, we'd have a bunch of timey-wimey stuff, but...
Well, we're going to get more of the magic clock, as you may have expected. None of the time aspects will be discussed.
Well, that probably saves our brain, because I could only imagine how the writers would make it even worse.
To be fair, nope, that doesn't help. I was going to try and help it, but I can't, so never mind. Do you have a new title for this one?
I want to have something with, like, clocked it in the phrase, or that could just be it, because Hilda clocks, but also Brad's like, I see you, so yeah.
Can I offer?
Yes.
I'm gonna offer 2-layered thing.
Okay.
Time to pretend, because it's time for Dreama to pretend like she's not a witch.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I enjoy that MGMT song. I know it's after Sabrina came out. I don't care. Our next episode is season 4, episode 3, Jealousy. That gives you a lot, but also not a lot to go off of in your guess of what it is about, Skye.
Well, based on Harvey's terrible behavior, I think we're going to start seeing Sabrina be even more upset about how much time he is giving to Brad and how he is tanking their relationship, essentially, over his friendship with Brad.
You know what? That may have been the closest guess you've ever given me.
Really? Because I feel like I've gotten some pretty damn close.
In that's basically the TV guide description.
Oh. Well, look at me. Move over, TV guide. I'm coming in.
I like your little like pose you just did. It's like a back of the book author pose. I'm glad that you feel good about yourself. You should. It's a very good guess. Well, please like, share, rate, and subscribe to this podcast and like rate it. Give us 5 stars in places where you can give us 5 stars. I keep forgetting to go on my personal account and give us a 5-star rating on Facebook because apparently we have no ratings on Facebook.
Yikes.
So if you're on Facebook, give us a rating. You can email us at somethingwitchypod@gmail.com, including Google. You can also email us.
Yes, Google found us on our Gmail account. Shocking.
Join the exclusive club to which Google belongs. And you can follow us on our Instagram and Threads at somethingwitchypod. Until next time.
Stay magical.